We're back. I'm your host, Steve Alls, and with me, Chef Brett Greenberg. I mentioned earlier you appeared on the Food Network, huh?
I did.
How was that experience?
It was quite an experience. It was a lot of fun meeting some of the celebrity chef personalities and getting to know those guys, and just a great experience.
What show were you on?
I was the Ultimate Recipe Showdown. Similar to what we're doing today, reinventing some classics. I took a French onion soup and macaroni and cheese and kind of mashed the two together. My winning mac and cheese was French onion mac and cheese.
And you actually won that category, didn't you, for mac and cheese and the comfort foods?
I did, my 5 minutes of fame.
Hey,
here's my next 5 minutes.
Hey, there you go, man. But anyway, you ready to get started on this next dish?
Let's do it.
What's it called?
We're doing a pan-seared steak with a red wine fig sauce.
Ooh, baby.
It's gonna be good.
What's the first step?
We're gonna get our pan nice and hot.
Screaming hot.
This is cast iron. It gives a real nice sear. And then we're going to take our steaks. This is at room temperature. You want to start with a nice room temperature steak, and we're going to brush it with a little bit of canola.
Now, for those of you out there who are wondering why we do this, and what you don't want to do is bring out the room temperature and then leave it out and then put it back in the refrigerator, okay? We're leaving it out right before we cook. So it's a safe thing to do, but restaurants don't do it, so don't worry about that.
That's right. A little salt and pepper. And ideally, you want to let this sit for about 30 minutes. That salt will help dry out some of the natural proteins of the steak, and that'll give you a good sear, good color on your steak.
And also notice, I know you're going to put that in there real quick. We'll get
yes,
that.
I need a pair of tongs if you have them for
right
me.
Here.
Thank you. So I like to brush the steak with the oil as opposed to putting the oil in the pan. I think you get
a better caramelization, a better sear.
Better caramelization, and you get less of that, burning oil kind of taste in the kitchen.
And if you guys can see this, also this steak is very, woo, that's warm, isn't it? That steak is very dry. We've actually taken all the moisture off of it and all that excess juice that was on the top. And that will also help in the caramelization process. And if you know anything about cooking meat, caramelization is all about flavor, right?
That's right. So again, we brush the other side, season this side as well, a little salt and pepper. And all you're looking to do, I like a medium rare steak, 2-3 minutes on each side for a strip steak this big. And this recipe works with any cut of meat. You don't, depending on your budget, your taste. Some people like a leaner fillet. Some people like a real fatty ribeye. Whatever your preference.
And I got to tell you, if you do this in your house, open the window.
Open your windows and turn that fan on.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that. Or outside's a good place to do it too. A lot of you have grills and they have the little small burner on the side. That's a good thing to do also.
So the other thing you'll notice, we're leaving the steak alone. We're not touching it.
We're
not pressing
banging down on it or anything?
No, that's just going to get all those juices out of there, and we're trying to lock the juices in. So we let it sit. We let it get a nice sear. Again, 2-3 minutes, and then we'll just flip it over, and we'll get some color on the other side in 2-3 minutes, and it'll be good to go.
Now, I know our viewers at home are actually looking at this and saying, that thing's burnt on the bottom, but it really isn't.
Oh, no, not at all. We're getting good color. The best part of the steak is that nice crusty outside.
Yes, it is. You ready to turn this thing over?
Take a peek. We're looking good.
Look at that.
There you go.
Isn't that something right there? That is what a steak is supposed to be, just like that. Y'all see that caramelization you see on there? Oh, baby.
Again, 2-3 minutes on this side, and that'll be a nice medium rare.
For me, I think it's done right now. I can just take this thing off and eat it right now. Now, also another key to cooking a really perfect steak is not having the race from your plate to the table after it comes out of the pan, right?
That's critical. The resting stage. Once you take your steak off, tent it with a little foil just to keep it warm, and you want to let that sit a minimum of 10 minutes. And what that's going to do is all the juices are going to distribute throughout the meat.
Because they're all jumping around right
yeah,
now, right?
They're all
and
hot,
now
they're
just,
loose.
Just get back
you want
into place.
You want them to settle.
Okay.
Otherwise, you cut into that, and that's when you get dry meat. All the juices run out all over your plate, and so we're probably good. We'll take this off.
We're going to let this rest. There you go. Look at that beautiful steak. We'll put it over here on the side. Now, I've turned this down to low already to start our pan sauce, correct?
Thank you, yes. And what we're going to do in our hot pan with our drippings, we're going to take a shallot, finely diced. Let that soften up.
And that pan is screaming hot, so you got to move those shallots around pretty good in the pan.
That's right. And then we're going to follow that up with a spoonful of fig spread.
Keeping with our theme today, figs.
That's right. That's going to add a nice balanced fruit flavor in with the rich beefy steak and the red wine. You'll sweeten it
just a little bit too, won't it?
That's right. There we go. We're good there.
I'll move that around.
Thank you.
And again, this fig spread will melt right in your pan here.
That's right. You want to keep that moving. And this is also going to start to caramelize and build flavor right within your pan here.
There you go.
From there,
and then the next step?
You're going to want to deglaze or just add some red wine here, and that's going to help bring everything off the bottom of the pan.
And that stuff on the bottom of the pan is why you do a pan sauce, right?
Exactly. You want to get all that flavor into your sauce. If you want to take that, I'll take this.
There you go.
So what you want to do here, you want to just keep stirring. You want to reduce this by about half. And once you've got that done.
So you're getting that essence of that wine.
That's right. We're cooking off a lot of the alcohol, but we're preserving all the flavor.
And I'll say something too about wine. Use the wine that you want to drink in your recipes. Don't just use that cooking wine off the shelf. That thing's chock full of salt and other stuff that you don't want to taste.
That's right. And you want to have a glass while you're cooking. So.
There you go, or two.
Or two. So we're going to take, you let this reduce by half, and then you take your beef stock.
Okay.
We're going to bring that right in. And again, now you want to get your pan back up if it's been turned down, and you want to reduce this again, and you want to let it thicken.
Okay. And what actually helps it thicken? Is it the fig spread that actually helps that?
The fig spread, the sugars, and it's also just the loss of moisture as you're evaporating and you're reducing your sauce. It'll naturally start to thicken.
Now we've got one right here that we worked on a little earlier, didn't we?
We've
and
got
it's already reduced down for us.
And you'll see that's taken on a nice thick texture. And all we need to do to finish this up is stir in some butter, about a tablespoon at a time, nice cold butter. Fancy term, monte à beurre. And all we're really doing is going to give this sauce a nice rich quality, give it a nice sheen. So 1 tablespoon.
And I like to go ahead and either reduce the heat or take that off the heat completely.
Off the heat is probably fine.
If you guys can see that, how that sauce just changes immediately, and it makes it, the fat gives it a lot of flavor, and it gives it a different kind of texture, don't it?
That's right. And when you spoon this over your steak, it'll kind of cling to it. It'll have a real nice mouthfeel.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at that.
And the last one. And we're good, and we're ready to slice up our steak.
Huh?
We are.
Okay.
All right. You want to finish stirring that up?
Yeah, I'll stir it up for you. I've got this plate too. Brett also did some really nice pan-seared green beans. And what he did, he took the green beans, blanched them, shocked them, and then we sauteed them in a pan with a little olive oil and garlic.
Feed your tongs for a moment.
There you go.
Thank you. So this is our steak. It's been resting, again, about 10 minutes. What I like to do is also just get those juices back in the sauce.
It never hurts, does it? A little more flavor?
A little more, why not?
Just get that out of the way. I think the sauce is just about perfect there, Brett.
Perfect. So you can turn that real down, or there's enough heat in there to hold the...
Yeah, with those cast iron skillets, it really holds that heat, doesn't it?
So the other critical, when you're getting ready to slice your steak, you want to look at the natural grains, the way that they're running, and you want to slice opposite to that.
Why is that?
That'll give you a nice tender mouthfeel with the steak. So just for size, I'm going to cut it first in half. And you can see the beautiful doneness on that. That's a nice rare. So we're going to now turn that sideways again so we can cut against the grain.
Okay.
And we'll just start making nice, I like nice thick slices.
There you go. And notice that it's not bleeding out right now because we did allow that steak to rest.
That's right.
That's beautiful. Can't wait to dig into that.
Do one more slice on this. Okay.
Beautiful.
So we'll take this and kind of just let it fan out just a bit. You want to take your finished pieces and bring them over to your plate. And again, just let that kind of fan out so you can see the beautiful color that you got on there and the nice doneness. Mm-hmm. You worked hard to get that color.
Yes, we did.
You take a little spoon.
You know, those figs also, with the little pieces that went in, they plump back up really nicely too.
They do.
When they're in the pan. So you're getting a little bit of that fruit in there with this.
That's right.
And that is nothing but pure flavor right there, my man.
Right on top, and you're good to go.
There you go. And a nice piece of Echipanis bread to go along with that. And that'll be a nice
glass of red wine and you're set.
There you go. When we come back, we're baking cookies. But first, it's time to announce our winner of the Cookin with Kroger sweepstakes.